Oh my god. It's death to Grim Reaper! Bye, buddy. I'll be finding your dad. I don't think you'll find him. What's going on, guys? Chris, and welcome to a brand new Lego video. And today we're back with a series like Slowly Slowly Big Crane, Jolly Call Lego Cities, pop culture creations, what it comes up with inside of Lego Fortnite. So all that stuff is straight up utter chaos. And today's episode, we're back for a brand new episode in our Lego City Revamped series. And we're going to be showcasing a project that I started way back in January. That's right. Look at us. We're a new mascot. Oh god, the game's doing it. I think we're back. Back to what I was saying. Welcome to New Mascot City, an area that's based heavily on part 5 of my original Lego Fortnite City series on the channel from last year, from 2024. And I thought it'd be a fun way of honoring how it kind of kickstarted my Lego Fortnite journey inside of today's episode. But first, before we give the grandiose tour, I thought I would give it a little thing and try something new for the series by talking about how this build started, because this build was very, very interesting. As I mentioned before, this video did start being worked on around January, and the original idea for this video, as you probably see in a community post I'm probably putting on screen right now, was actually Sonic the Hedgehog. If you're new to the channel, around this time in December, I believe, or early January, I actually made a full-blown like Green Hill Zone part of my survival base, and I thought it'd be cool for a full-blown like city episode to make a Green Hill Zone like bridge. And one of the things I have mentioned several times in the past when it comes to messing with the green piece that we have in Lego Fortnite, which comes from the Supernova Academy, is it's only a 2x4 piece, which means, well, it gets very difficult very quickly to build with it. I really mean that. It's like, it gets very... It takes up a lot of memory, and you can kind of see the remains going on over here. Now, the thing is, I did actually build a good amount of Green Hill Zone. In fact, you probably see some footage in the time-lapse here that I have actually saved from the original gimmick of today's video. And yeah, a lot actually got made for this, but it ultimately had to be all crashing down. But I can show you guys the concept art here. I still have that one. You can kind of give it, like, gives you an idea what this video was originally going to be. And of course, the screenshot that I showed you guys before. But when I hit max build limit, I basically shortened a bit of Green Hill Zone because my original intention was to kind of keep it in the build and then work on something new entirely. So around February is when I hit max build limit and decided to take a break for a bit. And I came back around like March to work on the new gimmick, which was this whole new like city area, which you see in front of us right now. And then of course I hit max build limit around time after I finished this marvelous structure known as Wayne Manor, and I tried to put in the basketball court to reference Space Jam. And oh my god, that thing was so freaking painful. And I thought, oh god, I had to remove Green Hill Zone because I hit the max build limit again. Green Hill Zone had no effect at all. So I had to delete the walls, which you may or may not see in the footage of the time lapse. And they were very detailed because I'm such a perfectionist. And of course, that actually did give me the ability to actually put this here and make the apartment buildings and all this cool stuff that you see in front of us, besides the construction sites. The construction site is it's something that had to be made with our creative restrictions. But with that all being said, that's pretty much where we are today with the build of this area known as Founders Island, which has a lot of elements that kind of references the original Mascot City. Which, of course, we have Wayne Tower, which itself is based upon Chapter 1, Season X, a variation of the build, which, as you see here, has got also a bit of that, but also a bit of my own little twist on it. But of course, you got the entrance here, which has all this cool stuff going on. You got the Wayne logo, and of course, you can go to the back over here to see the dumpster and the other entrance, which is pretty cool. A lot of detail with this build, and I do plan on making a tutorial for it eventually, maybe sooner rather than later. Of course, you got some other cool stuff like the W on the top and this cool little like top bit as well, which I love how this whole build just came out. Like, seriously, it looks so cool, and I absolutely adore it. One of my favorites. I love just like flexing near this thing because like it's just beautiful. Like I have no words to say for it. But going over here, we have some other stuff as well as we explore Founders Island, like the PokéCenter build, which has made multiple appearances on the channel. I love this build so freaking much. It's one of my favorites of the year so far, which is why it keeps on making so many rare appearances. And if you like it too, I might or may not have a tutorial if you wanted to recreate this build. Plug! But seriously, I absolutely adore this build, and like all the other builds in this area, it actually is a facade, despite actually having an interior on the inside, as I did actually just rebuild the whole entire thing, which fun part of them. But going over here, we actually have the construction zone, which not much is really going on here besides the sacred green chairs making a cult comeback. A running carrying gag in the series, don't ask questions. And then of course over here we have the Peely's Banana Cafe, which has a lot of cool stuff going on for it, like no interior, but you have some cool stuff like I'm Legit Cow. He's very happy. He's a legit banana. Don't ask questions. But he has his own little thing going on here, which is pretty cool, like a little banana area. And then, of course, the basketball court, which is pretty cool. This is a lot of fun to design. And, of course, it's mostly a Space Jam reference. I'm not really a sports person, so I largely just like Space Jam and Bugs Bunny. So anything Looney Tunes related, I love. So Bugs Bunny has this little, like, hole right here, which is pretty cool. And then going over here, we have this cool little apartment building, which is pretty sick as well. And that brings us to this area right here with the Crazy Cap store from Super Mario Odyssey, where we have this cool little thing going on here. We can buy our suits and caps, which is pretty awesome. I guess all the employees checked out because no one's really here. Now, after I made this, like, all of Founders Island, my original intent was actually to make this whole, like, city kind of one big giant city area for one video. And then, of course, build limit hit once again. And if you watch the short for this video, you probably already know this, but I already made the whole idea of, well, this island over here, and the whole gimmick of this video was originally going to be multiple islands being connected together. And I decided just for today's episode to shorten it down to 2 islands, as this video is already taking me over a month. And I figured why not showcase what we got done so far. So moving forward, we actually have this island which I started last month, which is, of course, I don't have a name for this one, unlike Founders Island. If, like, the gimmick I've been having for this one is, like, probably, like, I don't know, like bricks or something. Like some weird, like, Lego pun maybe for this one, Bricksbird or something. I don't know. But going over here, we have this island, which has its main event being GCPD from, of course, Batman's Mythos, which a lot of the main center points of these islands is, of course, stuff from Batman's Mythos. That's the plan. I'm currently planning on adding, like, Ace Chemicals, Monarch Feeder, and, of course, eventually Arkham Asylum, which might be its own video later on. But over here, we have a bunch of cool stuff, like this blue cube, which you should not question at all, as sometimes the maximum complexity limit leads us to becoming our most creative selves and bringing back our first ever creation inside of Minecraft Exposure Freaky Edition from 2012. It's kind of crazy how we got to this point, right? We all start somewhere. And then, of course, we have a reference to where I first started making LEGO videos on YouTube, which is the C Complex from my original LEGO City series. I thought that'd be a cool way of honoring where the channel began with the, of course, Papa L's Pizza and the costume store. I know most of you guys are probably new, so you probably don't recognize this, but I thought it'd be a cool little nice little touch to add here. And of course you got the diner, which is a reference to Arkham Knight, and it's like kind of like a scuffed classic LEGO design, but I still love it for that vibe. I just love it so freaking much. It's like, take it in. Look how cool this thing looks. I bet you love it, right? Right? And then over here we have another cool thing going on here, like the little town center, which is pretty cool as well. Not much really going on over here. It's just a nice little thing that you see in front of us. But the main event is obviously GCPD. Alright, so I just turned it day so you guys can have like a better view of everything, like the diner, there we go again, so you can see the red little scuffed letters, and of course you got the main event here, which is of course GCPD. Oh my god, I love this build so much. A fun fact about this build, actually, is I was very concerned about it at first. When I was designing everything, I was like mapping out everything with the whole like structure, and I was like kind of concerned. I was like, oh no, is this thing gonna turn out good? And oh my god, I just want to say I adore this thing so freaking much. I seriously love this build a lot. Because if you go over here and look at it, like seriously, there's so much going on with it, like the details with the logo, and of course the badge here, which of course was my first time actually using the pressure trick to make something go upside down. Normally I just have things going with like a sign here, like sideways. But like, if you're new to Lego Fortnite, I feel like this is something like a bit of classic me just like explaining, is you can use the thruster trick to make things go upside down by going it that way, or going like up here. You can make things like just normal, or you can just have things go sideways, which is pretty cool. Like, it really allows you to like do a lot of like creative stuff with your builds and creations, like what you're seeing in front of us right now. And like seriously, let's just like walk up, let's just give you guys a vibe of how everything is. Like, dude, this is so freaking sick. I love this so much. And you got like a miniature badge right there. I'm just gonna like go flyby around GCPD as you guys are just gonna get a vibe of how the build is. You got this little area right here, which we don't really acknowledge too much because you can actually see the inside, and that's kind of bad. So we're not gonna acknowledge that. But going up here, you actually have like more stuff going on. Like this is where they would like bring all the villains up. And if, like, more specifically, this is where Commissioner Gordon would actually come up and just talk to Batman when he goes up here to push down the non-existent bat signal. Don't worry, we can actually make it exist. Ready? There we go. Isn't that cool? You know why we don't have a bat signal? Because of bill limits. God, this is... Oh, no, not again. Back to what I was saying. Oh, yeah, we don't have a bat signal. Going this way, though, that's pretty much everything. Like, going back this way, we basically have everything showcased. I know that's pretty quick, right? But yeah, as you see here, I'm always starting to plan to like bring everything like more structures this way. And as I mentioned before, there's like a bunch of our ideas that's in the back of my mind currently, like Ace Chemicals, Monarch Feeder. I do want to make like a Pokemon blimp based on like Poke Park. That would be cool. And overall, I just want to like continue adding like more and more like cool little like pop culture stuff. Like a Pokemon gym is also on my bucket list, and like there's some cool ideas. I don't want to spoil everything, because like there's a lot of ideas. And also, I do want to hear from you guys as well, because this is where the series is evolving for the better. Because I want to showcase you guys something. Because like personally, to me, as like a builder, I find this stuff really cool. I love it when I have my creations connect like this. Like generally, like it brings everything, like it's like world building. And like as someone like me, I just love this type of stuff in games, especially Minecraft, where I just like have all my structures in like one kind of connected area like this. Because like seriously, like dude, look at this, look at this. It's so freaking cool. It feels like an actual city that's just like small little sections of a city that's like disconnected. But once you have like more like of these little islands together, like maybe one like in the middle right there, and you get like more stuff as we continue on, it's gonna look so freaking cool. So once again, I would love to hear you guys' suggestions for builds that you guys would like to see. Personally, there's a lot of stuff that I already mentioned that I have on my mind. There's some other stuff that I'm kind of keeping a surprise for future videos. And the whole like project of how this kind of goes is like you have one big structure, as I mentioned, and you have like some smaller builds, so the build element doesn't really take too much. So if you have any ideas, then definitely let me know, as I'm very curious, and I'll be definitely seeing what you guys have to like say down in the comments below. This is where I'm going to be taking the Lego City series going forward. As the kind of course, we have the other ideas I have whenever I feel like it that are kind of not city related, but when it comes to like city builds, this is kind of like what I'm wanting to do going forward. And overall, I'm really excited for it. And I seriously, I love how this whole thing has turned out so far. Like, it looks so freaking cool. And I really hope you guys did enjoy this quick, lovely tour of everything, as like, seriously, I'm loving this so much. And it's definitely helped like get me out of burnout for Lego Fortnite that I felt like earlier in the year. Because like, oh god, I keep on saying like it looks cool, but like seriously, it does. And I am so proud of what we got done here. And yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this one. If you did, definitely consider leaving a like. And if you're new here and you want to see more Lego Fortnite content from me in the future, then definitely consider subscribing so you don't miss out on that cool stuff. And yeah, like once again, I do hope you guys did enjoy this one. It's like it was a lot of fun putting this all together for you guys. It's like having it all come to life slowly in the background was really cool to watch, and it was a lot of fun trying to figure everything out. And seriously, it was a blast, and I really hope you guys did enjoy. And if you did, once again, I just want to say massive thank you if you made it this far into the video. Your support really means the world to me. And yeah, I hope you all have a spectacular day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, everyone.